That is ridiculously bad. It really is.
The NBA just delivered a comedy classic. From players brawling to sneaky assassination attempts at the refs. This past week was a wildly fun week in the NBA. I hope you brought snacks, because the party starts now. Chapter 1. Last Saturday. Another one for the history books. From the glitz and glamour of the big stage to the gritty battles on the court, Saturday night in the NBA began with an absolute banger. It started in the Big Apple, where Josh Hart, the funniest man in the NBA, reminded us that he's actually just a stand-up comedian.
Look how cute he is. Look how happy he is.
Masquerading as a ball player on the side.
James goes down a lane and draws the foul as he goes crashing into the first row. Free throws for LeBron James.
There's no way you can see that unless you have X-ray vision. Now I'm going to sit here and say, I pushed him. And it's a great call. But I'm just saying, you couldn't see that.
Classic Hart, keeping things light even in the heat of the battle. And speaking of heat, Anthony Davis was an absolute defensive powerhouse, swatting shots left and right and causing chaos all over the court.
Knicks on the break. Hart driving coast to coast. Blocked by Davis. Right to Brunson. Brunson blocked by Davis again. Back-to-back rejections.
Meanwhile, LeBron made it his mission to show us that he's not exactly old. He's just chronologically gifted.
Here in the fourth quarter, James dribbling, falling away. Got it. LeBron James nails it. It's a 9-point lead. Timeout, Knicks.
Lakers fans must be tearing their hair out, seeing what their team can do when they actually feel like playing. The Knicks, favored by 2, saw their 9-game winning streak snapped by the Lakers in an 8-point upset. But in ATL, we saw Steph pushing the superstar call button to compel the ref to blow the whistle.
Curry gets in there, grabs that rebound. A little contact. You know, he put on his show a little bit too.
And Curry complained and then got a whistle. And that's why the crowd reacts.
But forget all that. Curry had a legendary game, joining Kobe Bryant as the only players in NBA history to drop 60-plus points at 35 years or older.
He has 20 tonight. Curry another 3. He's got 60.
Steph dropping 60 was all right, but what was even more impressive was the Splash Brothers combining for 70 points in total. Not only has Klay been the most selfish player in the league this year, he's also been more of a drip than a splash, making his generational selfishness even more unbearable. However, Trae Young stole Steph's thunder and carried the Hawks past Golden State with 35 points and 6 assists.
Podziemski falls down. Trae will take the monster 3 and nail it. And Podziemski's shaken up.
Turns out, dropping 60 isn't a guaranteed W this season. You gotta hit 70-plus to seal the deal. The Hawks were favored by 2, but they ended up winning by 7 points. But in Dallas, things started out fun.
Easiest trick shot in the game. Told you.
When the game started, Luka almost got snatched by the injury bug that is starting to run rampant around the league. Fortunately, Luka would return to the game. Giannis was ruthlessly bulldozing his way through the Mavs defense.
Giannis still with some time and some seconds to work with, can get up and down the court, finds Damian Lillard for 3!
Dame and his running mate put on a show, combining for a whopping 78 points, 9 rebounds, and 18 assists. The Bucks, favored by 4, sealed the deal with a 12-point victory. However, the craziest occurrence of the night took place down in San Antonio. You've all heard of basketball block parties, but if you've ever played ball at the park, then you've definitely seen more elbow parties instead.
So watch Collins here on the screen. Ooh, boy, he did lean and throw that elbow. It appeared from that angle, and whoa, as Mitchell and Collins exchange blows. Mitchell got hot.
You can't let him get away with that.
But while Victor has stolen the hearts of NBA fans across the globe, the Cavs' big men wanted to remind everyone that they exist in the same timeline as well.
Evan Mobley nails another 3.
Cavs do a good job of getting him an open shot.
Evan Mobley had 28 points and 10 rebounds, while Jarrett Allen added his own 26 points and 16 boards. The Cavs were favored by 10.5 and won by 16 points, giving them their 13th win in their last 14 games. Chapter 2, Sunday night. Welcome back home, soldier. Sunday was a fun day in the association. The night started with 2 tributes. The first one belonged to Bradley Beal in the Pacific Northwest. Beal had been holding the Wizards hostage with his no-trade clause before he asked to be traded to the Suns. But sure, let's just pretend like that didn't happen. The Stockholm Syndrome that the trash teams in the NBA have is pathetically sad to see. In return, Beal thanked the Wizards by dropping 43 points on them on an insane 16 of 21 shooting.
Beal with the final seconds winding down here. See if he can get a shot away. Eubanks with a bone-jarring screen. Beal goes. Boom!
While in the process, memeing them after flashing a fast break dunk.
Another easy steal. Hammers it home, and that will prompt a Washington timeout.
The Suns were favored by 11 and didn't disappoint, cruising to a 28-point victory. But the tribute that had everyone in their feelings took place in Boston on Marcus Smart's homecoming, and rightfully so.
Words not necessary. Quite a tribute. When you can make plays like he does defensively and winning plays.
And even though the Grizzlies were severely shorthanded with only 8 available players, they put up a valiant effort. But Tatum and the Celtics made sure to capitalize, securing the easy W.
Nice pass.
Oh, yeah! Favored by 19.5, they won by a massive 40-point margin. Meanwhile, down in the 305, we had JJ Redick opening up about his Kawhi-induced nightmares.
And every time I see Kawhi Leonard shoot a jumper that bounces around the rim a few times, I have nightmares.
But Russell Westbrook was busy dazzling us with million-dollar ankle breakers, but also settling for pocket change finishes.
Head to Westbrook in overdrive, losing defenders, swooping in and missing the stuff.
Harden, on the other hand, was effortlessly sinking 4-point plays before nonchalantly relaxing courtside among the fans. The beard is a man of the people.
Harden feeling good, lets it fly. Yes, sir! And then he gets a front row seat. Clippers lead by 13.
The Clippers remained red hot, topping the sliding Miami Heat. Favored by 5.5, they ended up winning by 8 points. However, while Rudy Gobert was busy turning defense into O while sprinting like a newborn giraffe,
Bear the steal. Oh, Hollywood. Yes, sir!
trouble was brewing in Utah.
And now Beasley takes him out, and now we got some problems.
But here's where it got wild. The Bucks were up by 14 in the fourth quarter with just over 11 minutes left. But the Jazz went on an absolute tear, outscoring the Bucks 40-13 in the final quarter.
Loose to Walker. Outlet. Keontae. Take it home.
Another collapse under Doc Rivers, a foreshadowing. The story just writes itself at this point. However, congrats were in order for coach Chris Finch, who earned the nod to lead the Western Conference in the All-Star game. First time for Finch, second time in Timberwolves history. But the craziest madness took place in Denver, where Nikola the Brainbreaker Jokic turned Ayton into the laughing stock of the century.
Jokic. And there's the fake of the century right there.
The Nuggets came back from a 14-point deficit in the first half, all thanks to Jokic dropping 29 points and Murray adding 21 to seal the deal. Denver was favored by 15 but ended up winning by 9 points. Chapter 3, Monday night. Return of the Claw. Monday Night Hoops in the association brought hilarity, heroics, and blistering heat in the depth of winter. Down in Louisiana, Grand Theft Alvarado was busy thieving everything under the sun.
And Jose, you would think there'd be a book on him by now.
So you would think.
Before this, though, Grady Dick had the Pelicans commentary crew dicking around on the broadcast.
Dick stays out there. Najee all over him, and he got it. Grady Dick's third bucket of the game brings it back to 19.
Let's just call him Grady. Let's just call him Grady for the rest of the game.
You're killing it, you know.
But don't sleep on Grady. After the tough start to his rookie year, Dick put up 4 threes and a season-high 22 points. But the player of the game was Brandon Ingram, who put up a season-high 41 points with a mind-blowing 8 three-pointers. Didn't matter what the Raptors tried, the man could not miss.
One more. Tries it. Gets it! Incredible!
The Pelicans, favored by 10.5, didn't just win. They straight up routed the Raptors by 38 points. However, in Cleveland, Max Strus was doing his best Alvarado impression, and Sabonis was the victim to the robbery.
Scoring and steals as Strus took it away from Sabonis. He's hot. Strus knocks it down.
Supermax again with a loose ball opportunity.
Meanwhile, Donovan Mitchell was seemingly trapped until he too pulled an Anthony Edwards.
He'll scoop it off the backboard to himself. Do you believe that? Donovan Mitchell with a circus shot has given the Cavaliers an 18-point lead.
Everyone and their grandma has been able to pull it off this year except Jaylen Brown. Sabonis racked up his 15th triple-double of the season, tying him up with Nikola Jokic. But even with his heroics, the Cavs, favored by 4.5, came through with a massive 26-point win, extending their winning streak to 6 games, while cementing themselves as the hottest team in the league right now, while Miles Bridges was going off for a career-high 41 points.
Miles Bridges back into the contest. A little bit of bully ball. Score the goal with a foul.
Rookie Brandon Miller was adding 33 points of his own, with 5 3-pointers, just as a little icing on the cake. The Hornets, though, would lose the game, their 8th straight loss since parting ways with Terry Rozier. But LBJ showed no mercy, while turning back the hands of time again.
Now goes to the dribble all the way. They don't pick him up, and he throws it down with authority. LeBron James.
AD was no slouch either, as he added his own unibrow triple-double.
Lob to Davis to finish.
To help the Lakers secure their 3rd straight win. However, when we visited the city of brotherly love, we found Philly's playoff hopes looking shaky, especially with Embiid sidelined. Without him, generating offense is like trying to find water in the desert. Nearly impossible. Kyrie made a triumphant return from a 6-game absence and led Dallas to a crucial victory.
But there is Kyrie knifing into the lane to score again.
The Mavericks were favored by 2, but they went above and beyond, winning by a solid 16 points. But the best game of the night was down in Hotlanta. Kawhi Leonard was in his element, doing Kawhi things. The Claw is all about that silent execution. No flashy stuff, just pure old school fundamentals.
Oh, he put it in! 137 to 130, a big time shot by Kawhi Leonard.
And speaking of execution, Harden has been, and always will be, the king of the 4-point play.
Oh, he put it in! The shot of the night! James Harden counted at a foul!
The Clippers were looking mighty comfortable out there. They wrapped up a grueling 7-game road trip in style, finishing 6-1 overall. Favored by 4, they took the W by 5 points. Chapter 4, Tuesday night. Is this your Bull? On Tuesday, we saw some beautiful milestones amidst the adrenaline-fueled frenzy on the court. First of all, Scotty Barnes and Trae Young deservedly snagged the last 2 All-Star spots. Looks like Darko knew what he was talking about.
Scotty Barnes is gonna be All-Star. He's gonna be the face of this league.
However, in the Big Apple, things got even more sentimental on Breen and Clyde's 25th anniversary broadcasting together. You absolutely love to see it.
25 years, guys. Congratulations, gentlemen. Appreciate everything y'all do. Pleasure. It's a pleasure. I appreciate it. All right, we'll see y'all later. Great, man. Great too. Not bad. Come away with a victory tonight.
And Jalen Brunson would put the exclamation point on the night with a stellar performance. 27 points and 8 assists, before unfortunately exiting the game with an ankle injury.
He's grabbing his right leg by the right ankle, and a lot of the crowd standing up. He's in a lot of pain.
But even with their best player out, the Knicks, favored by 13.5 points, secured the win by 10. However, in Chicago, the Block Bros met the Rebound King, which was the perfect recipe for a triple tower dogfight under the rim.
And he's blocked, got it back. No foul as Towns got it back. Drummond forced it up. Vucevic bounced to Drummond. This time he draws the contact.
Unfortunately, referee Tony Brothers would go down with an Achilles injury over the course of the game.
I've not really been in this situation before, Jim Pete, so I don't know if Tony Brothers is questionable to return.
Yeah, is there a PR person for the officials in this game?
Yeah, we need a update.
and Alex Caruso tried to increase his team's chances of winning with a sneaky assassination attempt on a second ref, but none of that would be necessary because Coby White took over the game in the second half, ending the game with 33 points.
White drives, White, yes!
It's a Coby White night!
Combined by DeRozan, who matched him as well to lead the Bulls to a 6-point victory over the Wolves. But after getting burned last week at KD's tribute, Brooklyn finally drew the line in the sand as they refused to give Kyrie another tribute on his return. However, when the game commenced, Uncle Drew took flight, leaving everyone in shock.
High flyer!
Nets fans naturally were still trolling on the sidelines.
Kyrie, why you don't play like this when you were on the Nets? Thank Mayor Adams for that, bro. Oh, come on.
Unfortunately, we haven't been able to see much of healthy Kyrie and Luka on the floor together this season. The duo tag-teamed their way to 71 points, leading the Mavs, who were favored by 2.5 to a sweet 12-point victory over the Nets. While Şengün was giving Miles Turner a history lesson on who the MVP of the Turkish League was.
Drop step, another Stop one. It! Stop it! Oh, that's the sauce, baby! That's the sauce!
That's nasty!
Halliburton was going full Call of Duty with a 360 no-scope snipe.
Look at that from Tyrese alone, too.
Look what I found.
Before trashing all over Dillon Brooks after hitting the game-winning dagger.
They put green on him, not quick enough.
And Tyrese got it.
Got it to the rim. Thompson thought he got fouled. Don't take a timeout.
But the night ended in Phoenix, where Bol Bol heard Shaq endorsing him as the original Wemby and decided to prove the Diesel right.
Bol shot fake, drives. Oh, a little scoop from Bol Bol.
That was special.
You're making Shaq so happy right now. Oh, I know. He loves him some Bol Bol.
Impressive move from Bol Bol, but someone needs to drug test Shaq with the highest urgency, I beg. But the real spectacle came from Giannis and KD.
Oh, Giannis! Statue of Liberty throws it down.
Advantage. Gordon gets it back to Durant, winding up and takes him to the boom room.
Portis couldn't get there, and Giannis,
The Suns' big three, though, made sure to drop the Bucks to 1-4 since Doc Rivers took the reins. What's up, Doc? Your prescription might need a refill.
That is ridiculously bad. It really is.
Chapter 5, Wednesday night, the third Alvarado. From Charlotte shenanigans to demons north of the border, the NBA gods were cooking up some major plot twists on Hump Day. First up, when we flew over to Miami, we found Jeremy Sohan going full-on superhero mode, flying into the crowd for snacks and smooching midway into his shift.
I think he had some of the popcorn. He's checking on the fans. He kissed this lady on the head. Oh my.
Wembanyama secured his 25th double-double of the season, which is by far the highest among this season's rookie class. But the game belonged to Jimmy Buckets, who snagged his first triple-double in over 2 years. 17 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists.
In the game. And a block. And a knockaway there from Branham. Gets it back. Here he comes. The lob and the slam. Well done, Jimmy Butler.
The Heat were favored by 8, and they didn't disappoint, walking away with a sweet 12-point victory. Over in Charlotte, Brandon Miller was channeling his GOAT, PG-13.
What a block by Brandon Miller! Ripped it away from Barrett on the other end. Yes! It's a nightly occurrence with the kid.
While Scottie tried to channel his inner Steph Curry, except it didn't end up going so well for the latter. But despite half the Raptors roster being already mentally checked out due to trade deadline jitters, RJ Barrett showed up to ball, dropping 23 points to lead his squad to victory.
RJ turns, fires three for the lead.
Hornets' Miles Bridges dropped a career-high 45 points. But sometimes individual brilliance just isn't enough to get that W. The Raptors were favored by 7, but they walked away with a 6-point victory, handing the Hornets their 9th straight L. Down in Washington, Donovan Mitchell dropped a jaw-dropping 40 points, but it was against the Wizards. Meanwhile, in Celtics land, Al Horford turned back the clock with a steal and a sprint that'd make Giannis proud.
Al wins the race up the floor. Who is that guy?
Trae Young, on the other hand, was out there slinging dimes like it was a discount store clearance.
Trae behind the back, tees up Jalen for an open three. Switch!
But even his flashy moves couldn't stop Porzingis from going off for 31 points. The Celtics, favored by 11.5, took an 8-point W. However, everyone's favorite moment of the night took place in the City of Angels. The New Orleans Pelicans decided to put the brakes on the Clippers' hot streak. Kawhi Leonard thought he was the claw master, but Dyson Daniels pulled the third Alvarado of the week on him.
Gotcha. Yep. Gotcha.
Dyson going to the hole.
Forget the Goateology movement. The Alvarado movement is officially the hottest thing in the NBA right now. The Clippers came in favored by 9, but the Pelicans sealed the deal with an 11-point victory, extending their own winning streak to 4 games. Chapter 6, Thursday night. Bender of space and time. Thursday night in the association meant one thing and one thing only: pure, unadulterated basketball bliss. First off, we witnessed an emotional roller coaster as Kobe Bryant got immortalized with a statue outside the Staples Center.
And for the record, Kobe picked the pose you're about to see. So if anyone has any issues with it, tough shit.
The Black Mamba's legacy lives on. I'll push myself to exhaustion. In Milwaukee, Robin Lopez got traded and waived, so he decided to chill courtside while reading a bedtime story.
Yeah. Oh, there's his brother. We told you, he's got the Groucho Marx t-shirt on, too.
The Bucks chose Thanasis, the human white flag, over Robin Lopez.
I think that we've seen the white flag being waved because Thanasis getting ready to come into the game.
And as soon as he got on the court, Thanasis would prove the announcers right.
Thanasis. And they nearly turned it over.
This one would lead to Doc's 5th loss in 6 games as the head coach of the Bucks. Patrick Beverley also got traded to the Bucks. The two have history, and Pat knew exactly what that meant.
No, I gotta get my relationship right with that.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate the irony? Like, bro, you were talking smack and now you want to be besties? Classic Pat Bev. But over in Indiana, Chef Curry turned into a human flamethrower.
Oh, Steph's 5 for 5! He's putting on a show here.
After a lackluster 9-point performance in the last game, Chef Curry decided to cook up something special against the Pacers. Double teams, triple teams, it didn't matter.
Oh, my goodness. Come on! 6 for 6! He's barely across midcourt. He's a monster.
Curry was hitting shots from the logo. How do you defend against that? Simple, you can't. After trading away Buddy Hield to Philly and snagging Doug McDermott from San Antonio, the Pacers got served a big plate of a 42-point piece. And despite being favored by 6, they couldn't handle the heat from Curry's kitchen, taking a 22-point L. Meanwhile, in the Big Apple, we found Kyrie looking as zen as a Tibetan monk. The man's in a good place mentally, and that's a game changer for the Mavericks, as Luka was bending space and time with his insane court vision.
Well, and how open Luka Doncic with a little spice.
The Knicks were quietly assembling a squad, with Burks and Bohan joining the fray. These moves elevated the Knickerbockers to being one of the deepest teams in the entire association. Unfortunately, they were battling a ton of injuries, and Luka would take advantage, dropping 39 points and 11 dimes, leading the Mavs, who were favored by 5.5, to a 14-point victory. However, when Ben Simmons tried entering his villain arc, the Cavs decided to teach him that if you mess with Cleveland, get ready for a Cavalanche.
Oh my goodness, Jared Allen and Ben Simmons.
As they then went on an insane 21-0 scoring tear, on their way to their 8th straight win, which was also their 16th W in their last 17 games. But back in La La Land, we found LeBron James throwing a missile straight at Murray's face. Jamal, of course, kept it cool.
Turnover by LeBron right off the head of Jamal Murray.
But when a soft pass hit him in the leg a few seconds later, this was LBJ's reaction.
Especially when, I guess it ricocheted maybe off his shin onto his foot.
Come on, King, enough with the peasant theatrics. And speaking of theatrics, Nikola Jokic was busy predicting double teams like he's got some cyberware installed.
Almost swiped there, Jokic corner, it's Porter a 3!
And here's the problem.
Led by Murray's 29 points and favored by 3, the Nuggets spoiled Black Mamba night, taking down the Lakers by 8 points and snapping their 3-game winning streak. Chapter 7. Friday night. Put some respect on my brother's name. If you thought Friday nights were meant for Netflix and chill, think again, because the best action on the night was NBA action. Things kicked off in Milwaukee, where the Pat Bev era officially began, and it was pure entertainment too.
Quick ball movement. How about Pat Bev's first touch? How about it? Pat Bev, welcome to Milwaukee.
Bev sensed Doc was about to blow a gasket, so he took matters into his own hands, calling the shots.
Time out. Look, he's got already the clipboard.
Doc's like, give me my clipboard.
He's talking.
It's your first day here.
It's like he's been here for 5 months already.
Put that man in a corporate boardroom, and he's taking CEO calls by lunchtime. The last time we saw Thanasis, things were not looking good. But damn, whose man's is this?
Like that. Like that.
How about that, Thanasis?
That's some next-level wizardry. The Bucks straight up steamrolled the Hornets with a 36-point victory.
I owe you an apology. I wasn't really familiar with your game.
In the words of the great Shaq. But in Boston, Denny Avdia was out there tossing alley-oops to the refs.
Tommy point for the ref.
Meanwhile, Porzingis pulled off one of the smoothest buckets you'll ever see after the whistle blew. Absolute finesse. But the real showstopper was Pritchard, who did this at the end of the third. Too bad it got waved off, but you gotta love that energy. Jason Tatum was on a heater of his own, dropping 35 points and leading the Celtics to their 40th win of the season, while D'Lo was dancing on the Pelicans.
Oh, look at this move. Doing a dance, having some fun. Knock it down, D'Angelo.
Sabonis was out rebounding the Joker 17-8, and we had the first sighting of Buddy Hield and Cam Payne as Sixers. If you end up enjoying this video, please subscribe. It's free, and you can always change your mind. Anyways, wherever you are in the world, be the GOAT of that moment. Stay GOATed.